Ask a Science Teacher by Larry Shakel. So let's dive right into the introduction. There was a time when we believed in myths and legends. There was a time when we thought of natural phenomena as the creation of gods and goddesses. Now we have scientific explanations for the things happening around us. Science gives us knowledge and power. It gives us solid evidence. Below are some facts that will amaze you about our unique planet and mysterious universe. These are just some truths that will blow your mind away. Do identical twins have the same fingerprints? Many people wonder about this. The quick answer is no. Our DNA contains the basic instructions that make us who we are. Identical twins have almost the same DNA because they are from a single fertilized egg that is split into two. But fingerprints are not the results of genes alone. Identical twins have similar genetic makeup, but they have subtle differences that led people, especially their parents, to tell them apart. That is because qualities such as weight, height, behavior, and others are not influenced only by genes, but also by environment. The same is true for fingerprints. The concept of nature versus nurture applies to the fingerprints of identical twins. Another influence is the development of the baby in the womb. Nutrition, blood pressure, position in the womb affects the pattern of fingerprints. The length of the umbilical cord is also a factor. The creation of fingerprints is caused by stresses in the sheet of skin called the basal layer. It is sandwiched between other layers and it grows faster. As the basal layer grows, it folds in several directions and forms the complex shapes. The folding is a very random process. And so the fingerprints of identical twins are similar, but if you look closely, you will see differences in the loops, arches, and whorls. A famous case is that of the Dion quintuplets from Ontario, Canada. They were born in 1932. All 5 girls have the same DNA, but they have different fingerprints. It is worth to note that fraternal twins came from 2 separate eggs, so they do not have the same DNA. Fraternal twins are just like ordinary siblings who shared the same womb for 9 months. Why do we blink? One purpose of blinking is to provide moisture to the eye. The average rate of blinking is 10 to 20 times per minute. Blinking is involuntary. It is not something we do consciously. Each blink lasts a fraction of a second. We do not even realize that we are blinking. It happens so fast that it does not interfere with our vision. During each blink, our eyelid comes down over the eyeball and prevents it from drying out. Our tear ducts provide moisture through tiny ducts. The moisture flows over to the surface of the eye. Our eyelids have 25 oil-producing glands each. They are located between our lashes, and they are so small that they are not visible to the naked eye. The oil mixes with the water that comes from our tear glands. So blinking brings water and oil to the eye. Blinking also gives protection to our eyes. It shields the eye from dust and other debris. Our eyelids serve as windshield wipers that get rid of particles that come to the eyes. Our first line of defense, though, is our eyelashes. These small curved hair catch dirt that may come to our eyeballs. You might have noticed that horses and cows have long eyelashes. Camels that live in the desert have extremely long lashes to shield their eyes from the sand. There is also strong evidence that blinking helps us to change our focus. For example, you're sitting on your desk and looking out of the window. Then you shift your focus to your laptop screen. Blinking helps the eye to settle into that new point of focus. What is the big red spot on Jupiter? The Great Red Spot is actually a big terrible storm. It is a long-lasting storm in the southern hemisphere of Jupiter. The Great Red Spot is 17,000 miles across. 3 Earths can fit in it. It is a giant hurricane, a high-pressure storm, and it is the biggest storm in our solar system. It rotates counterclockwise, and one rotation lasts for 7 days. The Great Red Spot was discovered in 1664 by Robert Hooke, who is an English scientist and architect. Giovanni Cassini, a French astronomer, is also credited with the discovery of the Big Red Spot. Both men observed Jupiter in 1664 through their telescopes. The Great Red Spot's color is actually pink and orange. The colors are caused by the chemical reactions in Jupiter's atmosphere. The storm mixes up chemicals composed of mainly phosphorus from the interior of Jupiter. The Great Red Spot has been raging on Jupiter for over 345 years. Jupiter is actually a gas planet. It is a huge gas ball. It does not have a clear boundary between the atmosphere and a solid surface like the Earth has. The gases of Jupiter get thicker and thicker as they get closer to the center. It is most likely that the gases turn into liquid. There may be a solid center at the center of Jupiter, but scientists are not sure. Jupiter is 2.5 times more massive than all the other planets combined. That is why the planet is named after the king of Roman gods. Jupiter is 318 times more massive than Earth. It has 67 moons. The 4 largest moons of Jupiter were discovered by Galileo in 1610. When is Halley's Comet going to come around again? Halley's Comet will come again in July 2061, which is 37 years from now. The man who discovered it is Edmund Halley. He was an English astronomer and also a friend of Isaac Newton. In 1705, Halley used Newton's law of gravitation to calculate and locate the orbit of comets from their positions in the sky over a period of hundreds of years. Halley found out that the comets seen in 1531, 1607, and 1682 almost have the same orbit. He used gravitational formulas to predict the return of this comet. He was sure that it would return again in 1758, but Halley died in 1742. He was not able to see his prediction come true. The comet was seen on the night of December 25, 1758. Later on, this comet was named after him. The last time that we saw Halley's Comet was in 1986. We only see it in our sky every 76 years. Going back through history, it is recorded that Halley's Comet has been sighted every 76 years from as early as 240 BC. Some scientists describe a comet as a dirty snowball. Its center is composed of ice, dust, frozen methane. The center of Halley's Comet is potato-shaped. It is 10 miles long and 6 miles across. It has 2 long tails. One is an iron tail and the other is a dust tail. These tails stretch back for millions of miles. Most comets have orbits with the shape of a cigar. They can only be seen by the naked eye when they come close to the Earth or the Sun. More than 4,000 comets have been observed and recorded. Meteor showers happen when the Earth passes through the debris left in the orbit of a comet. Halley's Comet is the source of the Orionid meteor shower, which occurs every October. How does Bluetooth work? Bluetooth allows electronic devices to communicate with each other without wires or cords connecting between them. It is all done through radio signals. Bluetooth creates a small area network with a frequency of about 2.45 GHz. Bluetooth devices give out very weak radio signals around 1 milliwatt. The coverage distance is usually around 30 feet. The extremely low power makes sure that a Bluetooth device would not interfere with other devices. It is also very light on battery use. Bluetooth is also very user-friendly. You do not need any instruction materials. Once the Bluetooth device is turned on, it sends out radio signals to other devices. Then it waits and listens for radio signals in response. Once the radio signal is picked up, it remains connected within that 30-foot distance. Where did the name Bluetooth come from? Bluetooth was actually first developed by the telecommunications company Ericsson, which is a pride of Sweden. In the Nordic legends, King Harald Bluetooth Gormson ruled Denmark from 958 AD to 986 AD. He was killed in a rebellion that was led by his own son. King Harald united Denmark and some parts of Norway and Sweden into a single kingdom. He imposed Christianity as the official religion. He erected a large stone in Jelling, Denmark, to commemorate his parents. Thus, the name Bluetooth refers to Nordic national pride. Bluetooth connects different devices, just as King Harald once united his huge kingdom. How can the exhaust from a car harm us? Here are some of the pollutants that a car emits: carbon monoxide, formaldehyde, benzene, nitrogen oxide, sulfur dioxide, and suspended particles. The most dangerous of these chemicals is carbon monoxide. The hemoglobin found in our blood transfers oxygen from our blood to our body parts. It releases the oxygen to our organs so that our cells can process it. But carbon monoxide attaches itself to hemoglobin much better than oxygen does. It's over 200 times better, and carbon monoxide prevents oxygen from attaching to the cells. And so carbon monoxide suffocates the body. It puts great difficulty on the cardiovascular system. That is why it is very dangerous to ignite the car in a closed area like the garage. As much as you can, cover your nose when cars, trucks, or other vehicles are passing by. Meanwhile, benzene is known as the carcinogen or the chemical that causes cancer. Benzene attacks the bone marrow, which produces red blood cells. Benzene has been known to cause blood-related diseases such as anemia, leukemia, and lymphoma. Benzene is also found in pesticides, solvents, and cigarette smoke. So limit your exposure to these substances as much as you can. As of now, gasoline is still the main source of energy for our cars. But more and more hybrid cars are being produced. Hopefully, we will have more cars which are less harmful to us and our environment. What is quantum physics? Quantum physics is also known as quantum mechanics. It is the branch of science that deals with the nature of atoms and subatomic particles. The foundations of quantum physics were established in the first 4 decades of the 21st century. That is 1895 to 1935. Some of the pioneers of quantum mechanics are Max Planck, Niels Bohr, Werner Heisenberg, Albert Einstein, Paul Dirac, Wolfgang Pauli, and Erwin Schrödinger. Max Planck stated that energy waves are radiated in separate bundles or quanta. The amount of energy is related to the frequency of waves. He came up with the formula of E is equal to hf. It means energy is equal to Planck's constant times frequency. Quantum mechanics is at work in our everyday life. For example, heat up a piece of iron like a horseshoe. Keep on increasing the heat. First, the horseshoe will glow with a red flame. Then, as the temperature increases, it would glow orange, then blue, then it will become white. Red is the lowest frequency of visible light. It takes the least amount of heat energy. White is emitting all the colors, and even ultraviolet. It takes the most amount of heat energy. There are three basic ideas in quantum mechanics. First, energy is not continuous. It comes in small discrete units. Second, electrons behave as both waves and particles. Third, the movement of these particles is random and unpredictable. The position and velocity of the particle cannot be determined at the same time. Because of these three basic principles, we can create computers, smartphones, microchips, LEDs, USBs, MRIs, televisions, and many modern gadgets. How did dinosaurs become extinct? Dinosaurs lived on Earth for 160 million years. Then they suddenly died off 65.5 million years ago. There are several theories as to how they became extinct. Here are some of them. 1. The bodies of dinosaurs were too big for their small brains. 2. They starved. Dinosaurs were very big animals, and they require a lot of food. Third, there was climate change. The tropical environment suddenly changed to extremely cold. Then there is the asteroid theory, which is the most widely accepted today. It is said that 65.5 million years ago, a comet or a large asteroid hit the Earth. Iridium is an element that is only found in abundance in meteorites and asteroids. In 1980 in Italy, the father and son, Louis and Walter Alvarez, discovered a very distinct layer of iridium rocks underground. The depth of the iridium layer corresponds to 65.5 million years ago. Later on, the same iridium layer is found on different parts of the Earth at the same depth. In 1991, geologists found the Chicxulub crater in Yucatan Peninsula, Mexico. The crater is 65.5 million years old. It was 110 miles across. Scientists estimate that the asteroid was 6 miles in diameter and it hit the Earth at 45,000 miles per second. The heat from the asteroid evaporated the ocean's waters. It ignited forests all over the world and covered the land in darkness as the debris blocked the sunlight from reaching the ground. The Earth's temperature dropped to freezing range. It killed most of the plants and animals. Plant-eating animals died a few months after all the plants died. Even though the asteroid theory is the one that most scientists support today, there are other theories being studied. There is the massive volcanic eruption that occurred in India 65.5 million years ago. The volcanic plumes caused a climate change which killed the dinosaurs. Other scientists believe that asteroid impact and volcanic eruptions happened at the same time that caused the death of all animals and plants. When and how did E. coli develop? Escherichia coli or E. coli is a bacterium normally found in the lower digestive system of mammals. Some strains of it cause diseases. Sometimes outbreaks happen, and it causes many deaths. Theodor Escherich is a German doctor. He discovered E. coli in human feces in 1885. The genus Escherichia is named after him, and the species name coli means that the bacteria live in the colon. We actually need E. coli to function properly. The bacteria supply vitamins such as vitamin K and vitamin B complex in our blood. Majority of the strains of E. coli are harmless. 0.1% of the bacteria in our intestines are E. coli. When we are born, we acquire different kinds of bacteria which live within us. They help us to live, and we also help them to live. It is just that some strains of E. coli are very harmful to us. Sometimes an E. coli gets infected by a virus. The virus puts its own DNA into the bacteria's chromosomes. Each time the bacterium cell divides, the DNA of the virus is passed on to the new cells. So now we have E. coli O157H7, which is one of the dangerous strains. This strain releases a toxin that causes severe damage to the walls of the intestine. Blood vessels are destroyed. It results in severe bleeding or hemorrhage. The symptoms begin 3 to 4 days after eating contaminated food. The infected person experiences cramps, dehydration, and bloody diarrhea. This can be fatal to children and elderly adults who cannot tolerate much fluid and blood loss. E. coli infections can be prevented by cooking ground beef thoroughly, avoiding unpasteurized milk, washing fruits and vegetables carefully, and washing our hands when handling uncooked meat. Since E. coli lives in the intestines of animals, the process of slaughter and cooking should be done with cleanliness and care. How come parrots can talk but other animals can't? Parrots, ravens, and crows are famous for their ability to imitate the different sounds they hear. Most biologists think that they are amongst the most intelligent birds. However, unlike humans, parrots do not have vocal cords. They only learn to control the movement of muscles in their throat to produce sounds and tones. Different sounds come from changing the shape and depth of the trachea in the throat. Birds and other animals can be trained to do certain things, but they cannot reason out or have human-like conversations. It is important to note that parrots do not know the meaning of the words they say. Still, parrots are amazing creatures. They can grow around 3 feet in height. Their feathers have the colors of red, blue, yellow, and green. Parrots can adapt themselves to any living environment. It is probably the reason why pirates chose them as pets for centuries. Parrots are tropical birds, but they can adjust to cold climates. If there is no air in space, how is there air on our planet? When the Earth was young, there were millions of volcanoes releasing out their steam. Steam is a form of water with 1 oxygen atom and 2 hydrogen atoms. Volcanoes also emitted ammonia and carbon dioxide. Ammonia has 3 hydrogen atoms and 1 nitrogen atom. Carbon dioxide has 2 oxygen atoms and 1 carbon atom. These elements became the building blocks of the air we breathe today. The carbon dioxide in the atmosphere decreased because most of it dissolved into the oceans. The simple bacteria also absorb the carbon dioxide along with sunlight. These bacteria released oxygen as a waste product. This caused oxygen to build up in the atmosphere. Meanwhile, the sunlight broke apart the ammonia molecules and they separated into hydrogen and nitrogen. Hydrogen has a small density, so it drifted off into outer space. Nitrogen became the dominant gas in the Earth's atmosphere. Animals and plants on the planet coexist in a beautiful balance. Animals inhale oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide. Plants absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen. Life on Earth exists on the delicate equilibrium of 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, and 1% carbon dioxide. The Earth's atmosphere protects us from radiation, especially the deadly ultraviolet radiation. The atmosphere also keeps us warm by maintaining the heat near the surface of the Earth. The atmosphere also brings us rain, which irrigates and nourishes the land. Other planets in the solar system have atmospheres too, but they are unable to support life. Mercury has no atmosphere. Venus is covered in thick carbon dioxide gas. Mars has almost no atmosphere and it is very close to a vacuum. Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune have atmospheres, but they are composed of ammonia, methane, helium, and hydrogen. Earth is the only planet in our system that is comfortable to live on. Conclusion. In this book, you learnt about fingerprints and blinking. You also learnt about the Great Red Spot of Jupiter and Halley's Comet. You also learnt about Bluetooth and carbon monoxide. We also discussed about quantum physics, E. coli bacteria, dinosaurs, and parrots. There are 240 more questions and answers in the original book. It is worthwhile to check it out online. We, humans, are the only highly complex creatures in our solar system. We are the only ones who can ask why we are here, or are we alone in the universe? We should always be curious of what is happening around us. We should always take care of our body and enjoy life as much as we can. We should pursue meaningful activities and make the world a better place. So I hope you like the summary as well as our efforts behind it. And if you think we were able to create valuable content for you, you can show your love by giving us a review on Play Store. Jai Hind.